Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching, but welcome back to the Crypto Sherpa Show, where I cover the latest and up-to-date, most important articles out there in the crypto spaces, so you guys can stay informed as well as myself, because this is just research. We're staying up to date on our investments, whether it be Bitcoin, Litecoin, Sui, Ethereum, Solana, Fartcoin. We want to know what's going on in the space. There may be a news article out there where it's this token just did or just shamed Russia and China all together. They're going to be canceled. No, it's not really like that, but just you want to pay attention to what's going on in the space, because that can fluctuate the price of a token or your investment out there. But welcome to the show. It is Thursday. It is Thursday. It's one of those busy mornings. We had a great morning show with Dr. J and Bitcoin Ben on the BBTV and Bitcoin Ben channel. So I would go check that out if you haven't done that. And what else is going on today? There's what else? We got Trump in the news. He was praising the Genius Act that happened the other day. He tweeted out that the Senate just passed an incredible bill that is going to make America the undisputed leader in digital assets. Nobody will do it better. It is pure genius. Digital assets are the future, and our nation is going to own it. We are talking about massive investments and big innovation. The House will hopefully move lightning fast and pass a clean Genius Act. Get it to my desk ASAP. No delays, no add-ons. This is America's brilliance at its best, and we are going to show the world how to win with digital assets like never before. So, boom, that was just a great thing to see yesterday, because we also got the news 2 days ago, or was it 2 days ago, that the Genius Act passed the Senate? And I finally covered it yesterday on Wednesday. It was 2 days ago that it passed that 69-30 vote. And yeah, big things are coming, and US is definitely going to be a major crypto player. But yeah, so I just wanted to share that first off with you before we start going over some of these crypto news articles. We also have an article out there on how Ohio passes a bill to exempt Bitcoin users from minor tax burdens. So if you're spending Bitcoin up to $200, I think, not positive, I'll go in the article into details, it's going to be tax-free basically at that point. So that's pretty cool, because people always wondered, do I need to pay capital gains tax if I'm spending Bitcoin on a piece of bubble gum? It's no. So rules and changes have been coming, and we're seeing it right now. And so we're going to cover that article. We're also going to talk about how ancient Bitcoin supply is now outpacing newly mined Bitcoin. I guess only 30% of Russian crypto miners out there are actually registered with the Russian industry. And then I think we have a couple altcoin news. So we got quite a bit of articles to cover. So let's just dive right on in the news and learn about what's going on in the space. So Ohio House approves bill exempting the Bitcoin users from minor tax burdens. Now the bill, which seeks to grant crypto users and miners certain rights, now moves on to the Ohio State Senate. So Ohio's House of Representatives voted on Wednesday to move forward with a new crypto bill that seeks several protections for industry participants, advancing it up to the legislative chain and inching it closer to becoming a law. Now, if signed into law by Governor Mike DeWine, the Ohio Blockchain Basic Act would prohibit state and local governments from restricting the use of digital assets as a payment or interfering with individuals and the use of hardware wallets or self-hosted wallets out there. So nice. Now, it would also permit digital asset mining by individuals in the residential areas subject to local ordinances, and also allow mining businesses to operate in industrial zones if they meet the existing requirements. Now, it does go even further by prohibiting local governments from resonating areas with mining businesses without providing proper notice and an opportunity for comment, and granting those businesses the right to appeal discriminatory zoning actions. Now, individuals involved in mining, staking, asset exchange, blockchain node operations would be excluded from the money transmitter, security, and investment laws. Now, exemptions from capital gains will also apply to every crypto transactions with value below $200. So I was right about that. Now, following a 68-26 vote, the House Bill 116 now moves to the state Senate for consideration. Now, times are changing, was that Bob Dylan who once said that? But sponsored by Representative Steve Demetrio, HB 116 was first introduced in February and advanced from the House of Technology and Innovation Committee before winning full House approval on Tuesday. Now, Wednesday's legislation comes just a day after the U.S. Senate passed a major stablecoin reform under the Genius Act in Washington, D.C. Now, as crypto regulations across the nation this year continues to firm up, it also marks the latest in state laws enacted to codify rights for crypto users and providers, following Kentucky's passage of the Bitcoin and Ethereum self-custody law in March. Now, we're getting ready to show the country that Ohio is ready to embrace the future of our economy and blockchain technology and digital assets, said Demetrio, and he said that before the vote. Now, once we pass this bill, we'll become one of the first states in the country to create a common sense regulatory framework for these cutting edge technologies and industries, Demetrio added. And here is that tweet posting about how the bill just got passed. Do we see a little quick thing? It's 4 minutes long. I'm not playing that. Now, other states considering new crypto regulations include Arizona, Florida, California, Texas, and Wyoming. Now, the Satoshi Action Fund, which advocates for state-level crypto policy reform, praised the passage of Wednesday's bill through the House. And isn't that Dennis Porter's Satoshi Action Fund? I believe so. Yes, great man right there. Now, it's a clear signal of lawmakers that are starting to come around to the idea of guarding the rights of industry players while encouraging innovation in the Buckeye State. Dennis Porter, CEO and the co-founder of the Satoshi Action Fund, told Decrypt. Now, he also labeled the $200 SATS capital, the $200 capital gains exemption, a common sense fix that helps everyday Bitcoin users avoid unnecessary tax complexity. Now, how much is that in SATS? Because I have that one app on here that converts everything. So if it's under 191,974 Satoshis, you're good, or $200. But I'm optimistic this momentum will carry forward in the Senate and look forward to seeing Ohio emerge as a national leader on the Bitcoin and digital asset policy. Now, the official representative, Steve Demetrio, did not respond to Decrypt's request, but, we'll probably hear from him later on. But yeah, so way to go, Ohio. And we're going to be getting more and more bills passed just protecting crypto users' rights, because when they're not here, the government or the big ups can go after you because nothing was in place. They can make a blame rule out there, and then that becomes the law. So it's good that we're finally getting laws in place. Thank you, Dennis Porter and your Satoshi Action Plan, for just helping this all out too, just getting every state on board. So way to go. So awesome job, Ohio. Let's pass the Senate next. Woo-woo. Now let's move on to talk about some ancient Bitcoin. What is that? And how the supply is now outpacing newly mined Bitcoin. And this was a report from Fidelity. So over 17% of all Bitcoin has remained untouched for a decade, while 27 public companies hold more than 800,000 Bitcoin combined. Now, Fidelity's digital asset released a new report that reveals that for the first time in history, more Bitcoin is entering ancient supply, which refers to coins that just have remained unmoved for 10 years or more than are being mined. Now, as of June 8th, 17% of all the Bitcoin falls into this category of ancient supply, meaning that these coins just have not moved in over a decade or more. And what could this mean for scarcity and market dynamics and investors' conviction? Well, let's find out. So as of June 8th, on an average of 566 Bitcoin per day is crossing the 10-year threshold, while only 450 Bitcoin is being issued daily following the 2024 halving. Now, the share of ancient supply also tends to increase each day, with daily decreases observed than less than 3% of the time. Now, the report says, in contrast, that the number increases 13% when the threshold is lowered to Bitcoin holders of 5 years or more. Now, here's a chart of the ancient supply of Bitcoin. Now, it's just slowly increasing, just for if it's been being held over a decade long or at least 5 years. So 2019. So yeah, this is for at least the 5-year chart. Or is it the 10-year one? No, it's a 10-year one from 2019 because Bitcoin came out in 2009. So going in there, just the chart of just people holding it, not moving it, keeps growing. But Bitcoin's ancient supply has grown since January 1st, 2019, when Satoshi Nakamoto became the first 10-year holder. Today, over 3.4 million Bitcoin fall into this category, worth more than $360 billion. Now, around 1/3 is believed to belong to Nakamoto himself. Despite their rising value and the long-term holders are not cashing out, ancient supply makes over 70% of all Bitcoin, and that share continues to grow. And again, more people realize they're not selling their Bitcoin to get into fiat dollars. That thing is just losing value. They're holding on to an asset that continues to grow, and they know they can spend their Bitcoin, less of it, when the future hits. So that's why I like seeing these little conversions rates, like $360 billion is 3,455,525 Bitcoin. So eventually that the Bitcoin supply number is going to go down as the dollar amount goes up. So it's like, why do people want to move back into the dollar system? They shouldn't. They should just focus on how much Bitcoin they got. But no, people aren't cashing now. So I don't think we have nothing to fear about, like these long-term holders and everything. And yeah. Oh. Sorry, just looking at a text message, but let's continue on with this article. But since the 2024 halving, the number of coins entering ancient supply has consistently outpaced the number of new coins being mined, according to a report. Now, this shift highlights growing long-term conviction among holders and reflects a broader tightening of the Bitcoin's liquid supply. Now, following the 2024 U.S. election, ancient supply declined on 10% of days, which is nearly 4 times higher than the historic average. And movement among the holders was even more pronounced, with daily declines occurring at 39% of the time. Now, to better track this trend, Fidelity used metrics called the Ancient Supply HODL rate. It measures how many coins are entering the 10-year category each day, adjusted for new issuance, and this rate turned positive in April 2024, and has remained that way, reinforcing the long-term supply shift. So that's kind of took place around the last Bitcoin halving, where we went down from 6.25 Bitcoin all the way down to 3.125 now. And then in the year April 2028, we're going to get another one that drops Bitcoin's newly minted Bitcoin down to like 1.125 around there. And then 2032, if you're mining Bitcoin, you're getting less than 1 Bitcoin per that time. So that's how the halving just is playing out. But looking ahead, Fidelity Digital Assets projections that ancient supply could reach 20% of the total Bitcoin by 2028 and 25% by 2034. Now, if public company holdings at least 1,000 Bitcoin are included, it could reach 30% by 2035. Now, in addition, because Bitcoin's supply schedule is fixed, it is possible to make hypothetical projections on when its ancient supply will hit certain milestones. For instance, Bitcoin's ancient supply is anticipated to accumulate 20% of the issued supply by 2028 and 25% by 2034. Moreover, if public companies that have acquired 1,000 or more Bitcoin as of June 8th are included in this ancient supply potential, which could reach 30% by 2035. Now, as of June 8th, 27 public companies hold more than 800,000 Bitcoin. And we cover this every single day, guys. Like, everybody's like, Michael Saylor bought more, Metaplanet bought more. This new company in the UK that mines gold is now converting their profits into Bitcoin. It's just like, we hear it every day of why there's this much Bitcoin just gone. But the growing institutional presence may further tighten supply and increase the influence of long-term holders over time. Now we got public companies with 1,000 plus Bitcoin. Here's that chart showing that. And it was going from 2017 to 2020 and just says grown. So yeah, guys, it's like, I like how this is. So where's that one chart? It was saying like how much like is getting added to this list. Because right now we know there's only 450 Bitcoin created each day, while 566 Bitcoin per day is crossing a 10-year threshold. Just people just hodling the Bitcoin. So that's crazy that it surpassed that number. So what's going to happen? Are people just going to keep hodling it? Eventually they will start to spend it, but that's going to be when everybody accepts Bitcoin, because we will. It's two things that might just happen. I like questioning this and talking about this with people. It's like, what do you think is going to happen first? We're going to reach such low supply of liquidity first, and then like we can't get Bitcoin anymore, and then we start seeing people accept it more often, like in grocery stores, gas stations, fast food restaurants. Like, it's already starting now, but is it going to be like once we get to that point when all of them start accepting it? Because everyone's on a Bitcoin treasury right now. And if you can't get any more of it, it's like the only way to do it is like, well, let's accept Bitcoin for our services that we offer. So are we going to have to wait till that point, or is it going to come before we hit such low liquidity out there where you can't get it on an exchange, you can't get it over the counter? It's just like nobody's willing to sell. So what are your thoughts on that, guys? I always love to hear your thoughts. But yeah, so that's ancient Bitcoin now outpacing the newly mined Bitcoin out there. Now let's move on to our next article, though. Russia says that 70% of crypto miners remain unregistered despite new laws. So Russia will continue taking measures to encourage crypto mining businesses to register with their tax authority, including imposing bigger penalties for violations. Now, Russia's cryptocurrency laws have not convinced most mining businesses yet to register with authorities, as only 30% of the miners have entered the Federal Tax Service registry since late 2024. Now, the Russian government began enforcing two crypto mining related bills in October and November of 2024, introducing legal definitions and registration requirements for mining businesses. Still, 70% of the miners remain underground, and Finance Ministry official Ivan Cheskabov said that according to a report by local news agencies TASS on Thursday, when introducing mining regulations, our general approach was to bring this industry out of the shadows as much as possible. We have not yet completed this process, Chabowski said, and regulators pledged to push further registration. Now, Chebeskov said that registering Russian mining companies is still far from over, adding that authorities will work to bring the remaining 70% into the legal fold. We will work to complete this process, he said. And now, Chebeskov did not mention any specific planned measures for encouraging miners to register their operation. Earlier reports suggested that Russia might consider more stringent penalties for illegal miners. Now, on June 9th, Forbes Russia reported that Russia's Digital Development Ministry was working on a new bill to increase the fines for illegal crypto mining operations to 2 million Russian rubles. And now that's from the current 200,000 rubles right now. Now, enforcement takes action against illegal miners. Now, the latest comments from Chebeskov came on the same day as Russian enforcement reported on shutting down another illegal mining farm in Russia's Rostov region. Police discovered a mining farm in a garage complex in the city of Batatsky, seizing equipment including 13 crypto miner devices. An official representative of the Russian Ministry of Internal Affairs reported on Thursday. Here's a photo of those confiscated miners that they took. Now, local investigations have opened a criminal case on the grounds of crime under Article 165 of Russia's Criminal Code. And the official said last week local authorities shut down another illegal crypto mining operation hidden inside a truck, siphoning electricity from a village in Russia's Pribyskovsky region. Now, there has been criticism of the Russian mining laws. Many local market observers criticize that crypto mining laws adopted in Russia in late 2024, with some arguing that they failed to fully legalize crypto mining in the country. Now, no clear regulations are introduced. It only paves the ground for more precise taxation. And Best Change Chief Analyst Nikita Zubarev told Cointelegraph last year that some attorneys also noted that the new crypto mining laws in Russia introduced a number of restrictions, such as prohibiting foreign persons from mining in the country and imposing mining restrictions in several regions. Now, Russia's industry thrives despite restrictions. Although Russia's crypto mining laws have added new limitations, the local mining industry has been on the rise. According to the observations of several industrial executives, despite the restrictions and difficulties, mining in Russia continues to thrive. Vyacheslav Kopylov, representative of the local crypto mining firm Prosto Mining, told Cointelegraph that the adoption of new laws in November that allow legal entities to put mining equipment on their balance sheets and pay taxes is an important step for the industry, he added. Now, Kopylov also mentioned that the major local industry events, such as Russia's blockchain forum, have increasingly featured businesses involved in crypto mining in Russia. Here's the ProMiner. That's a nice looking car. Now, today, most of the large stands are occupied by companies offering turnkey services from data center design to full equipment maintenance. He said, suggesting that mining has become not a trend, but a full-fledged industry with a developed infrastructure. Additionally, while Russian laws have prohibited foreign companies from setting up local mining operations, miners from many countries, concluded China, have been increasingly attracted to Russia due to the benefits like cheap energy out there. Now, I saw a lot of Chinese who would like to invest in this sector in Russia, not only because of the friendly relationship between Russia and China, but also because of the adequate and cheaper energy in Russia. Hotcoin's chief officer told Cointelegraph that many Chinese mining machines corporations have stood steadily in the Russian market, and it can be seen that more Chinese companies would like to join the Russian mining industry in the not too distant future, he added. So Russia is it's doing quite well with that. They'll get people on board with it because, again, miners, like for their country to thrive and do a lot better, they do need rules and just clear guidelines of what to follow, and it helps out everyone. It's a win-win. You'll be able to promote yourself, do a lot of mining, and then you get to use a lot of cheap energy that comes from Russia, and yeah, so it's just it works out. But yeah, but as of right now, though, 70% still remain unregistered. Now let's take a quick break. Play a quick ad for you, and then we'll come back with some news on Elon Musk's X will soon launch investment and trading features. Yeah, so more on that when we come back.
Attention visionaries and pioneers, the future of wealth is here, and it's spelled Bitcoin, Bitcoin. Introducing the exclusive Loans for Bitcoin program at the Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club, where your good credit unlocks 0% interest loans for up to 2 years, or term loans up to $250,000 spread over 7 to 12 years. Why wait? Use this capital to acquire the world's fastest appreciating asset, Bitcoin. With prices hovering around 94,000 and projections aiming much higher by the year's end, the time to act is now. Leverage isn't just for Wall Street anymore. Arbitrage the low cost of your loan against Bitcoin's explosive growth. It's smart finance for the modern investor. And privacy matters. Our no KYC Bitcoin purchase program ensures you buy and self-custody your assets in your own wallet. Your keys, your Bitcoin, your future. And as the world shifts to digital currencies, be ahead of the curve. Front-run corporations, governments, in this greatest financial revolution of our times. I'm Jay Bose, CEO of Bitcoin Ben Crypto Club. Call or text us today at 941-413-6920 and get started on that loan application. Secure your legacy. You will thank yourself tomorrow.
Man, I can't stop chugging my coffee. No Red Bull, not like the big man himself, Bitcoin Ben, this morning. It's like, I got my coffee, got my Red Bull, got my other coffee. Too much for me, Ben. Just I'll stick with my one coffee loaded with sugar. For those of you who know the Sherpa's beverage, it's a Trenta iced coffee from Starbucks, light ice, 0 classic syrup, 7 pumps white mocha, 4 pumps sugar in the raw, and 2% creamer. That is the Sherpa special at Starbucks. But again, this is a dessert. This isn't a coffee. I'm mainly getting a sugar rush than a caffeine rush. My normal coffee here at the club, it's a simple K-cup. Give me 2 creamers. That's it. No sugar. But that is what I'm drinking here. But let us continue on with the news. So yes, right before that commercial break, I mentioned Elon Musk's X will soon launch an investment and trading features as part of the Everything app's vision. So let's hear about this. So, aiming to integrate finance with social media, X explores digital wallets and partnerships with Visa. So, X is set to roll out investments and trading features as Elon Musk advances plans to transform the platform into a full-fledged financial and social ecosystem, said X CEO Linda Lockerina in a recent interview with the Financial Times. Now, according to Lockerina, the ambition is to house not only social networking, but a full range of financial tools within a single app. Now, and that's whether I can pay you for the pizza that we shared last night or make an investment or a trade. So that's the future, said the ex-CEO. Now, last month, Elon Musk confirmed that X Money, a peer-to-peer digital wallet service, will launch soon in partnership with Visa. The feature will allow users to link debit cards to their digital wallets with a tightly controlled initial rollout focused on safeguarding personal savings. Now, speaking to FT, Lockerina said that the service will debut in the US before expanding to internationally, enabling users to store value and Sorry, I just totally lost my place here. Well, link their debit cards, how they control fees, FD locker will be on US for internationally. So this now will enable users to store value, purchase merchandise, and tip creators directly on the platform. The company also exploring the launch of an X-branded credit or debit card, which could arrive later this year. Speaking of credit cards, that's got my Gemini Gold credit. Oh, it's at the front. I got that nice orange one, which is earning some Satoshis on that one. But since Elon Musk's $44 billion acquisition of the platform in 2022, X has grown into one of the most influential digital spaces for news, public discourse, and real-time updates. Now, throughout 2025, the platform has rolled out a series of upgrades that reflects Musk's vision to make it a multifunctional everything app. Earlier this month, X announced a strategic collaboration with Polymarket as its official prediction market partner, and the move targets to enhance user prediction with AI-driven insights across various real-world events. So that's what's still being in the works right now. Musk and X, they still want a full everything app on the X platform. There's partnerships with Visa, Polymarket, and I'm sure we'll see a lot more partnerships too later on. But thought I'd share this quick little news tidbit with you with Muskie and X, and I hear that him and Trump are tight again. So yeah, I knew that was all a show. Now let's move on to our next article covering on how far would you go to pump a meme coin. Well, it looks like this one person, Leland King Fawcett, aims to make it across all 50 US states in time to break a record and pump his Solana meme coin in the process. So let's go through this article to hear a little bit about it and where he's at right now. So, a live streaming Solana meme coin developer has been breaking speed limits and driving round the clock for stretches and sometimes inclement weather, all in an attempt to break the world record speed for solo traveling all 50 American states. Leland King Fawcett set out in his Hyundai Kona on June 11th from White River Junction, Vermont. He must finish in Honolulu on June 19th by 7:33 p.m. EDT time to beat the record. Now, at the time of writing, Fawcett had completed 47 of the 50 states in approximately 7 days and said that he was on track to smash the record, but there was still vast distances to cover. Now, the problem is that there are the big Western states. Now, these are the ones where you drive through them for 6 hours and don't hit anything, the streamer told Decrypt. They are bigger than most countries. They're having to drive across them and through them is going to be mind-numbing. And he is no joke. I traveled across the U.S. at least twice from California to here in Sarasota, Florida. And yeah, when you enter Florida, it is long too. That's a full day because when you enter that tip from the West Coast side, you gotta drive all the way down. And to get to Sarasota, you gotta go down south. So it's basically just as long as Texas. Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, breeze. You go through those. But once you hit Texas, that's an all-day drive. And then same with Arizona, it's quite long. Same with Nevada. But once you get through Texas, it's like, oh my gosh. So this guy understands it. He's going to have to beat that or work a way around it. But the All 50 States Club is a challenge created in 1998 by Barry Stifle, who finished his trip around the country in the current record of 8 days and 7 hours. Fawcett unveiled that the Solana meme coin 50 states on June 11th, the first day of his odyssey, as he set off to break Stifle's record with a camera strapped on top of his vehicle. He began live streaming the trip on Pump.fun and the token launchpad that he used to create the coin. Now, the event is one of a long line of streams poured on Pump.fun, which has taken over as a favorite platform for meme coin creators and others who previously had to use third-party sites. Now, here's that 50 States Live tweet. Howdy, I'm the dev of $50 states. My mission is simple: beat the record for the fastest time to travel all 50 states, was set in 1998 by Barry Stifle at 8 days, 7 hours. Now, here's how we do it. So here he shows a map. It probably goes through a long thread talking how he's exactly going to do it. But Fawcett believes that he holds the upper hand over the forefather of the fastest to the 50 because of the invention of satellite navigation and more efficient routes. And that is kind of true. I also want to do this to spite Barry Stifle because I cannot believe that he could go around all American in 8 days and 7 hours by himself, Fawcett said. It's like, I need to see if it's actually possible. If even with modern technology, we can get sub 8 days, 7-hour time. I'm going to call Stifle's record into question. So here he goes. Now, 3 men completed the challenge in 5 days and 13 hours in May 2022, according to the All 50 States Club site, documenting the journey on YouTube. And the drivers rotated in 8-hour shifts. So I guess that makes sense that you can do it in 5 days if you have partners to rotate shifts. But 50 states peaked at a market cap just shy of $1 million so far, and that's roughly 9.6 Bitcoin on Saturday, but has since plummeted to a current cap about 180,000. Ooh, so that's like a 90%. No, that's like an 80%, just a little over 80% dip. Now, one viewer told Decrypt that many people are suspicious that someone is suppressing the price, but they also explain that they are certain it will recover. Here's another tweet just highlighting his trip. Do you know that cows reproduce with bulls? 50 states. I think he is trying to do something real, but the community is sometimes pessimistic. Viewers and traders like Leonardo Sant told Decrypt he will break the record, that is for sure. And users on prediction market Murad believe that Fawcett will set the solo record, penciling in nearly 61% chance of success of writing. So people believe in him. They think he is going to do it. Now, how did we get here into this event? Live streaming events to support meme coins date back more than a year. In May 2024, a kid and his apartment mom begged viewers on their live stream to invest in their meme coin. The pair promised to perform lurid stunts on camera if the token reached certain market caps and milestones, including pouring milk over his mom's breasts, and the event went viral for that. So people get kind of crazy on these websites to just try to pump their meme coin. And this was all because of Pumped Off Fun. They introduced a platform where token creators can actually talk with the people investing in their coins through a live stream, all in the same platform. So we had some crazy stories over the years if you've been paying attention. But following this event, Fawcett introduced multiple separate live stream tokens, i.e. the IML Live Kick, which also plummeted to zero in no time. At the time, the streamer blamed the failure of his project on sniper bots buying up the token supply when it debuted and rugging his viewers. To combat this, he attempted to retaliate against snipers by intentionally rugging his own projects immediately after launch, all while telling his viewers not to buy them. Now, other developers have also used Pumped Off Fun to promote stunt-themed coins tied to live streams, including one coin creator who set himself on fire, resulting in third-degree burns across 30% of his body. Live streaming is now a native feature on site, enabling a new wave of controversial viral streams. And there has been a lot of controversial things going on with those. So you always got to be careful what you do. Like, if you're streaming online, you're putting yourself in public, do it with respect and just, yeah, like, why do you need to demean yourself out there? It's like, that doesn't benefit you. That doesn't help you out. It's giving you likes for the moment to people like who don't even care about you. Like, let's be honest about that. So like, just be respectful, and like the people will probably respect you a lot more if you don't like try to do these stupid stunts out there. That's why I always try to avoid that with like my live streams and news channels. It's like, I don't want to just act like an idiot to get views. It's like, that's not me. So, but some people out there will do that kind of stuff. But that's just some news on what this gentleman's doing, trying to beat the record to travel 50 states, as well as pump his Solana meme coin. So that's made it crypto related. Now let's move on to our final news article covering a mega breach of about 16 billion passwords. And now this is kind of raising some crypto security fears right now. So let's go through this article to hear about what happened. So a leak of 16 billion passwords from services including Apple, Google, and Facebook poses serious risks for crypto holders out there. So you may need to change your passwords on your centralized exchanges. But a massive trove of more than 16 billion login credentials from the leading online service providers, including Apple, Google, and Facebook, was leaked with potential consequences for crypto holders. According to a Friday report, the Cyber News research team reviewed 30 exposed data sets containing from tens of millions to over 3.5 billion records each. Altogether, that came around to a humongous 16 billion exposed login credentials. Now, none of the exposed data sets were reportedly previously, bar one, a mysterious database with 184 million records. And the report reads, most of the database contains an average of 550 million entries, while the smallest held over 16 million. Now, Cyber News warned that this could serve as the basis for mass exploitation by providing fresh, weaponized intelligence at scale. Most of the data was reportedly exposed by unsecured Elasticsearch or objective storage instances. Now, here has been the top 20 leaked database by numbers of records, because they said like the smallest one could have like 16 million in there, but it looks like a lot of them were in the 3.5 million section. Now, Cyber News said that the data allows access to pretty much any online service imaginable from Apple, Facebook, Google, GitHub, Telegram, and various government services. The data also includes enforced dealer dumps, including tokens, cookies, and metadata, making it particularly dangerous for organizations lacking multi-factor authentication. So yeah, two-factor everything, guys. Like all your social media accounts, your email. If you can add a two-factor authenticator to it, do it. It just helps keep you a little bit more protected. Now, according to the report, the original owner of the data is still unclear. Still, it's virtually guaranteed that some of the leaked data sets were owned by cyber criminals. Now, consequences for the crypto industry. The cryptocurrency industry may face serious fallout as a result of the leak. Security analysts expect a rise in targeted account takeover attempts using leaked credentials, particularly against custodial wallets or platforms tied to email access. Now, some wallets also use password-based seed phrase backups stored in cloud services, which could allow attackers to attempt the private keys. And again, in crypto, guys, don't keep your seed phrase or private keys on a cloud service. No digital copy at all. You never save it. You just write it down. You either engrave it on a metal sheet, and that's it. No online service at all. So I hate that this article is bringing up that people are still doing that. So guys, do not do it. Keep your crypto safe. But depending on the extent and success of those attacks, exchanges may decide to request that users change their passwords or take more drastic measures to prevent asset losses. Now, the breach also highlights persistent issues such as passwords, reuse, and weak authentic practices. Now, crypto users should immediately update their passwords, enable 2FA, and avoid store and recovery phrases in unsecured digital environments. As always, like if you're new to crypto and you didn't even know about that, it's like, you got to know the basics before you even want to start investing. Just keep your seed phrase and private keys safe, never online, and you're solid. That's like the most important thing after that. After that, it's like just don't tell people how much crypto you got. Don't leave your crypto on the exchanges because that's where these password breaches could intentionally screw you over. So just be careful out there. Like this is a huge breach. So I'll see if anything happens. I know like our email account kind of got spoofed out there because the club emails is getting non-stop spam. Thanks for joining. I had to report like 30 different ones this morning and continuously going. But no, guys, so stay safe out there. Add your two-factor to everything. Like if you haven't done so yet, just do it. Download the Google Authenticator app and use that one. Don't use another third-party one. I don't like those. I don't trust them. I've seen people kind of get locked out of situations. So just stick with the Google Authenticator one for now. Get a Ubisoft passkey for two-factor. Just use anything you can to add an extra layer of protection, just other than the password itself. So yeah, so just stay safe, stay diligent, and do your research with everything. Now that is it for the crypto news. Looks like we're at a 48 in neutral territory of the Fear and Greed Index. Bitcoin is currently at 104.70. So why are you doing that? Tether just minted 1 billion tokens on Tron. We passed the Genius Act from the Senate. Why is Bitcoin's price going down? I don't know. It just is. But hey, we're still above $100,000. Come on, like that's still exciting. It's been over 100 for a month now. So let's keep it going. And there's just still so much news going on about this Bitcoin not being just hodled over 10 years. We got more institutions buying up more Bitcoin. So while the price is going down, I feel it's going to hit that moment one day. We're going to wake up and go and see Bitcoin just go boom, straight up into the air. So, all right. Well, I got to take off now, guys. I have a class to do here at the club in 40 minutes. I want to get that prepped and ready to go. Today we're talking about artificial intelligence, how it works, how it runs. I'll show examples using ChatGPT, Theta's Edge Cloud, even maybe NVIDIA and Grok. So if you want to learn about that, join the club and we'll get you a link to that class, or come to one of our clubs. We always live stream it in person. So everyone have an awesome day. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. It's so close to the weekend. So everyone just stay safe out there. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow.
In a world where your data is constantly under attack, one company stands for your digital freedom. Introducing Calyx Solutions, your gateway to ultimate online privacy and secure cryptocurrency trading. Meet the Liberty Laptop. With its modified OS and advanced tracking prevention, it's your shield against surveillance. Access restricted areas, use recommended security software, and browse with confidence. Your digital footprint? Virtually non-existent. For the crypto pros, we present the Crypto Laptop. Pre-configured on premium hardware for secure trading. Optimized for your favorite wallets and exchanges, it's the fortress your digital assets deserve. Both laptops come with expert individual training and support. You're never alone in your journey to digital empowerment. At Calyx Solutions, we put you in control. No more worrying about data breaches or compromised transactions. Ready to join the revolution? Visit calyxsolutions.io and choose your perfect laptop today. Plus, become an affiliate and earn while sharing the power of digital freedom. Calyx Solutions. Unlock your digital freedom. Give us a call or text at 702-845-8276 or visit us directly at calyxsolutions.io.